Okay guys, so now what I'm gonna do next is cutting these pieces over here, the siding over here that has molding and um, molding and just bad size of the siding woods. So I'm gonna end up cutting right there. That line right there is where I wanted to cut it to get. So it's gonna be two pieces, two sides, one right here and another one is gonna be like right there. So to get it even, I measure exactly two sides of my woods. You know what I mean when I say two sides? This is one size, uh, measurement one, and that's from here to this line is two. So that's two lines. When I say two lines, you guys know what I mean. So I wanted to replace two sides, two lines. So from here to here, it's going to be one line. From here to here, somewhere, it's going to be another line. So just like that. Just about half a feet or a feet, you know, where it's molding and it's bad. So I'm going to cut across and make a line for my two lines. You know how it's gonna be hard and complicated. This part, this point here, what I want to do is use my reciprocating saw or any saw to make a marking line to cut it and make a line right there. So after I make a mark right here, I should see the outside. You see the line out there, and then I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna show you how to make a line from the outside. After I make that, after I cut the little bit right there, then I'll see a cutting line on the outside. See that? When I see that cutting line from the outside here, I know where I'm supposed to cut across. Okay, started from right there. So from up here down here, how many inch? I already have a ruler and I measure it. It's exactly 9.5 inches. Okay, I got 9.5 inch after I measure from that point, and then I know I'm gonna replace two sides. Okay, this and this, that's two total. So my line and cutting line starts gonna stop right there. So I'm just gonna use a ruler again. Remember to clear this, all the dirt and stuff. So I have a flat edge where I can put a ruler and measure it from the flat edge. So from here to here, I look for 9.5, and there it is. I got my 9.5 mark right there. So I'm just gonna mark where the 9.5, and then using the ruler like this, just mark it. After I mark, I have two marks. I go ahead and I'll I'll mark a line with using this 2x2. Okay, I'm using a 2x2 instead of the ruler. I don't want to mess up my ruler or whatever, so I'm using this as a guiding mark line, so I can, and then one hand holding it and another hand, I have my marker. Okay, and just mark it across, and there it is. I have my lines. That's how I make my line, so I can cut it. Okay, and I'm gonna cut it from the outside, and I'm probably not gonna use the reciprocating saw to cut from the outside this time. This time I'm gonna use this this hand saw right there. Okay, it's a big hand saw. It's not like a regular hand saw um, or a jigsaw. Okay, it's bigger than a jigsaw. Okay, this is to cut straight edge woods. Supposedly this kind of saw supposed to cut woods on a table, but in some cases I need it so I can cut it like right there, on the side, whatever. I have to hold it real straight. I have to look at the blade while I'm cutting so it can cut me a straight line right there. And you know I cannot cut it next to the tree. Like if I'm working somewhere on that whole area, when I try to cut it with that blade, no, I cannot cut it from the outside. Because why? It's the big trees on the way. So now I'm cutting from right here to right here. I can use that saw with no problem. I don't think so. I already tried it. I mean, that saw gonna fit perfectly right there. If worse than worst case, my saw gonna start cut it from like right here until there. So I'm gonna use my reciprocating saw to cut it from here to here. That's all I can do, guys. Or there's another hint that I can use to cut anything like that, is to use a sander cutting, like a sanding electrical sanding machine. Then I use a blade to put in there, and then I'll just use the sanding to cut it. You know, it's a smaller, it's a small little machine, but you know, a sander can cut any work like this too. I have it, but I just have not gotten to that point yet. In worst case, I'm gonna get that sander box out because it's in a box right now. Then I'm gonna use the sander and replace the blade, and then just have a cutting blade installed into the sander and just cut it. It's gonna cut it straight, just like this saw too. I I think it's better than the reciprocating saw because you know what happened when I cut it with the reciprocating saw, it leaves an ugly mark, you know, like right there. That's an ugly mark, and it's not straight either. That's why I mean I used the reciprocating saw when I was starting to cut from the inside, like a straight edge like that. Yeah, the reciprocating saw is good to cut a straight edge up, but it's not good to cut it across like you see in my videos. So I'm gonna have to use either the sander to cut it or the handsaw right here to cut that new lines. So so I'm at this point right here. It's kind of like my last job here. After I cut that, replace that piece right there too, and then I'll do the same thing uh, like the other side of the tree too over there. I know you guys can't see it, and I'm too lazy to go over there because, you know, so I'll do the same thing over here, over there, just like right here. I'll do the same thing. I'll cut like maybe a feet high to replace this part right here, and I'll do the same thing with the two lines over there I need to replace because it's rotten over there too. So it's gonna look like I'm replacing one big 2 feet of the 4 lines siding woods. That's 4 line right here with the hole you see right here. That's a 4 lines siding woods. Then I'm gonna cut another 2 lines of a 1 feet on the siding. So 2 lines of a 1 feet. That's gonna be gone. Over here, same thing. But I might have to do more than a feet high because it's rotten more over here. Then I'm gonna replace like this whole area right here. So that's gonna be, let's see, 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, probably 4 lines across here. So from here to here, it's gonna be 4 lines, and it's about more than a feet high.